Chairman and members of the School Management Committee, principal and teachers, parents and students, alumni and guests. Let me start by thanking the principal, Mr. Chan, for his kind invitation and for his kind words for my wife and myself. We are always happy and honored to serve the school. Mr. Chan said I should talk about my time in QES. So I have selected some memories together with some thoughts to share with you today. These thoughts are 60 to 70 years old. So also is the collection of photographs. If the photographs are of not so good quality, I hope you would understand. Also, if my memory is not very accurate, I hope you will understand too. So let me begin. That is me before I entered QES, 1954. After a few years in QES, I looked like this. Today, I'll take you on a journey through my QES days. My QES days start here. This is King's College. When QES started, the school building was not yet ready. So that building became King's College in the morning and QES in the afternoon. I joined QES in her second year. By then, the school building was still not yet ready. So I had to spend 6 weeks in that building before we moved into this one. This photo was taken at the opening ceremony of the school. That was 1955, October 24. 3 months later, I had my first important event inside the school. That's me. Now and then a photo would have me in it. I might stop a second or two before I identify myself to see if you can recognize me from that photo. Now that was the first speech day. This is our founding principal, Mr. Jiang Weifeng. On that occasion, he specially highlighted the school motto, 收己善群, or, if you like the Latin, Vos parate ut serviatis. After that, 10 months later, we have the second important event in my memory. This is Professor Edmund Blunden. He was the one who wrote the words for our school song. This photo was taken at the end of that ceremony, and they were looking at the words of the song as they listened to students singing it. That's me. I deliberately chose that photo to show you that in our days, summer uniform can be either in trousers or shorts. The school motto and the school song were the two important things in the first and second event. Together, they contain wisdom, values, and principles, which pointed me in the direction for my education and vocation. So very quickly, I settled down and enjoyed my stay at QES. In those days, QES was already quite well known for her extracurricular activities, or ECA for short. Naturally, I would want to join some of those activities. Now, those were the first ones. I joined this. I'm not in that photo. That was the 1955 committee of the Public Speaking and Debating Club. In that photo, you'll see our principal, 3 teachers in charge, and the 5 club officials. The school probably thought that public speaking and debate were important things because the 3 teachers included the senior master and senior mistress, the equivalent of the vice principals today. And the 5 club officials included both head prefects. I learned a lot in public speaking and debating. Logical thinking, good judgment, and proper discussion procedures, behavior, and attitudes. I was taught how to conduct formal meetings. Most important of all, I learned to respect people. I appreciated civilized communications. No shouting or interruptions, no dirty words, vulgar language, no verbal abuse or personal attacks. Teachers participated too in the debates. Not teacher teams against student teams, but mixed teams. Teachers and students in one team against teachers and students in another team. I cannot find any photos of mixed team debates, but I did find this. That's Christmas 1958. This was a mixed team of teachers and students performing on stage. Incidentally, those 2 teachers later became our 2nd and 3rd principals. Stage performance was my 2nd ECA, drama. This was my first acting experience in QES. My first experience in QES, not my first experience in life. My first acting experience was in primary 3. My first QES acting experience was in Form 4 or Secondary 4. It was the inter-school drama competition. Although the costumes were ancient Chinese, actually the play was in English. At that time, all the inter-house drama competitions were also in English. This was the first play in Cantonese. It was a full-time play for the school. It was also a full-time play for us. We did 2 evening performances. Not all our plays were in ancient Chinese costumes. This one, called The Shirt, was supposed to be an imaginary place and time. And in the same year, we also did this one, Fatal Destiny. It was about a queen in England in the 16th century. Now for Fatal Destiny, I remember we did 2 evening performances in that year's January. And then in February, we did one more. This time, the school sold tickets for the performance. We got $2,780, which we donated to local charities. The year after that, we did Bing Mo Hui Yi. This time, we had a profit of $2,800 for use in the school camp. Yes, by then, our dramas was mature enough for us to charge for admission. Actually, those 2 profits together would be roughly equal to $120,000 today. Over the years, I had lots of experience in my drama activities. I did practically all different aspects of drama. What did I learn from those? I learned to be confident, to face crowds, to speak clearly, to move around properly. But more important, I learned discipline, self-control, and how to work in a group, how to work with a group. Most important of all, I learned about empathy. A good and serious actor must be able to feel and act, behave like his character. This ability to feel what others feel is an important asset both for personal development and for interpersonal relationships. I left QES 1961 and continued my drama interest at Hong Kong U. And in that year, I came back to QES and acted eventually in the school play, 四面楚歌, 1963. 2 years later, I even managed to convince our Old Students Association to put up a play, 繁華夢. Yes, drama had a lifelong impact, long one for me. After QES and Hong Kong U, I became a teacher. I continued with my interest. 1960s and 70s, I wrote and directed plays for schools and colleges. Even in the 1980s, I acted as a judge for inter-school drama activities. Actually, government sent me to England for further studies, and when I was there, I acted in a play for that university. Eventually, when I retired, in the 1990s and 2000, I still volunteered to help with musicals for our OSA schools. So, an important message for the parents and teachers in our audience. Do not underestimate the possible long-term impact of ECA. Another ECA had long-term impact for me. This one started as a summer activity. We were just at the end of our secondary 3. Those were our teachers at the time. We were really lucky. We had very kind and generous teachers. They sacrificed their summer holiday time to run activities for us. This is my teacher of Chinese, Mr. 蘇粵海老師. This is what we did. Tai Chi. I am really thankful to Mr. So for introducing to me this very interesting and challenging sport, especially since it's so close to Chinese culture and philosophy. This sport really helped me to find patience, develop internal peace, and experience harmony with nature. This became a lifelong interest, from school to work to retirement. Summer vacation activities were not very long, so Mr. So didn't have time to teach us very much. I had to start to do my own exploration. This is my first serious book on Tai Chi. Here are some pages from that book. After studying for a while, I realized that to really learn, I need to have a proper sifu. I was lucky. I met people who were willing to share their knowledge and skills. So I practiced. And since I have found this very valuable thing, I had this feeling of a responsibility to promote and share it with others. This is a recent example. I had 2 other interests which started in QES but only developed later. Magic. Magic is for entertainment. We're supposed to entertain people. And for me, that's an extension of my interests in drama. It is also a kind of service to people. I even tried to bring this interest back to QES when I came back to teach. I tried to start a magic club, but was not very successful because the students who came only wanted to learn the secrets, to boast and show off, or to expose other magicians, all the wrong reasons. So very soon I disconnected to discontinue to do that club. Hypnosis is another interest. This one started from my interest in psychology. No, I did not try to start a magic hypnosis club in the school. But magic and hypnosis were useful in my teaching. Hypnosis is related to how people think. So I used it when I did my teaching to schools and colleges later. So far, I've been talking about activities. I might get the impression that QES life is just all play and no work. Definitely not true. We played and worked. In fact, it should be the other way around. Work first and then play later. We worked very hard. In those days, our schoolmates very often studied in groups. I was a member of this study group. Actually, the group was a little bit bigger than that, but I could not find other photos. In the group, we helped each other, we shared what we learned, we support each other, and even monitor each other's progress. That's how QES students in those days studied. How about QES students today? I hope you are still ready, willing, and able to learn and to share. Of course, we competed with one another and tried to win or to be best. But we only tried to win by working hard and trying to do well ourselves, not by slowing or stopping others. We'll never lie, bully, or cheat to win. People sometimes call that sportsmanship, or fair play, or ethical practice. Unfortunately, nowadays, there are people, even countries, which do not seem to have this quality or care about that quality. Our hard work did manage to end with some recognition and awards for us. This group, for example, over the years, we had maybe something like 60 prizes. We also did quite well in our public exams. We got credits and distinctions. I guess they are equivalent roughly to the DSC level 5 and 5 double star of these days. I believe we got maybe the equivalent of 35 level 5 and 25 double star. I was once asked, of all the different awards, which one did I treasure most? I can say not this one, not although it was given to me by a governor. Not that one, although it was named after a governor. For me, the most treasurable one was the prize for outstanding service. I'm thankful to the principal, teachers, and schoolmates for giving me so many different opportunities to serve. Over the years, I've done all those things, but I'm not going to talk about them today. Instead, I have chosen some examples of less known tasks and duties. Less known even to my own schoolmates at the time. I have chosen 4, one each from secondary 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think QES students today probably have not seen one of these. It's a school report. In our days, we had 2 exams every year, and at the end of the exam, our class teacher would have to enter our results into the school report. We had to bring that report back to our parents to show them. In my secondary 3, my class teacher decided that a small group of us should do that task for him. So we did the entering of marks, the calculation of totals and averages, all those things for our teacher. Actually, years later, we also did it for other teachers too. I am thankful to my teachers for their trust, because this thing has to be done with absolutely no errors and absolutely confidential. That's the school magazine. In secondary 4, I was asked to design the cover for the school magazine. Actually, it was for 2 years. The whole thing started as an exercise in the art lesson. Somehow, my art teacher liked my design, so he asked me to do a black and white master. And later, either he or perhaps the school magazine committee decided on the color. In secondary 5, I did the preparation and handouts for one of my teachers. I did not get any rewards from him, but I did get a distinction in my public exam for that subject. I also did the maps for a book that another teacher was going to publish that year. In secondary 6, I took care of lunchtime film shows. Now, in those days, there was, of course, no internet. The school didn't even have televisions. So students depended on books and also on film shows for their general knowledge and entertainment. We got our films from different sources. We show them maybe 2 or 3 times a week in the lecture room. I was in charge of choosing the films, preparing the notices for the program, and also operating the projector. I must say that I'm really thankful to the school, to the principal, teachers, and fellow students for giving me so many different kinds of opportunities for so different a variety of experiences. I'm also doubly thankful for getting a prize and having the experience. Talking about prizes, our study group, the year afterwards, another member got the Outstanding Service Prize. 2 other members were also awarded special prizes for head boy and head girl. I'm sure we are all very grateful for the opportunities, encouragement, support, and most important of all, trust from our principal, teachers, classmates, and parents. I'm coming to the end of my photo journey through my QES days. But before I stop, let me take you on a journey through time. That was the first photo of the group of teachers in QES. This is a more recent photo. If you count, there are 38 people in the first one and 59 in the second. I want to point out something about that. If we look at the timeline from the 1950s to the 2020s, during that time, I was student there, and then teacher there, and then parent there. And then finally, I volunteered for QES-OS schools for that period of time. Now, if we look at the statistics, number of teachers changed for QES from 38 to 59. Not only that, look at this. What is that? That's the student to teacher ratio. It went from 31 to 1 all the way down to 11 to 1 as the total average for the whole of Hong Kong. Well, I know that QES is more popular than the average school. So we had more students. Our ratio now is 14 to 1. But even then, compared to the 60s when I was a teacher, I can say that students today can expect twice as much time and attention from his or her teachers. We are much better off today than before. Look at one more thing. Look at that. What's that? It's the amount of money that government spent on education. is already adjusted to today's values. See the tremendous increase. So our society, our government today is spending much more for schools, for us, than before. That's the message I want to leave with you. The students today can enjoy a much more interesting and rewarding journey than the one I did. So, be thankful. And more important, be deserving. Thank you.